what is it called? Poll directly to see which of those 3 pieces. And yeah, that's what's the point of VTubing if you can't engage in massive downplaying? So true, so real. There was a place to submit art? Yeah! There's been a... So, okay, the way that it works, I should probably clarify this because I don't know if everyone here knows. The upshot is, Orchid8 is a merch site that my friends use, and that I will be using in the future. It's a little bit unorthodox what we're doing here, but all of the submissions are pieces of fan art from fan artists in the community of me or my friends or you guys as Codebugs. We are going to vote on which one gets made into a poster. The poster will be sold on Orchid8 for a limited run, and all of the proceeds will go to the artist. Sunny, that's crazy! 26 months! I am honored! Thank you so much! Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to see your art. I cannot wait. I've been so excited. I've heard so much about it, and I really wanted to blind react properly, so I have not seen it yet. Hers is at least one piece that I know I haven't seen. And I can't wait to see them. I was gonna give people a little bit more time to get here before I started showing them, but yeah, that's how it's gonna work. We're gonna go through and look at each of the submissions, then I'm gonna post the link to vote, and I'm sure it's gonna be amazing! Sunny, I cannot wait. The piece, the 3 pieces that win are going to be in a Twitch poll. Tazi, thank you! And the winner of that poll will be made into a poster that we can all purchase. I will also be purchasing it. I cannot wait. Your Codebug t-shirt arrived! I'm so glad! That's so fun! So I'm like actively holding myself back because I know it's important to give people time to get here, but also I really want to see. I had to make my friend make the form for me for voting because otherwise... Sunny's model is so cute. Sunny's model is so cute. Oh my god. Because otherwise I wouldn't be able to properly blind react. It has taken so much restraint to not view the results. Narek, don't worry. We'll probably be doing this again. I'm pretty sure that we will. Never mind. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, listen, if you have the permission of someone, I think it's okay. But the problem is, in order to receive payment, someone has to have an active PayPal. So if you are rambling and your friend can translate it into drawings, one of you has to have an active PayPal, and I think we all want some assurance that that will be distributed properly between you. But yeah, the Homatome, thank you! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, the only proper way to blind react is to cover one's eyes. Could you guys imagine? Could you guys... Wow, I'm sure it's beautiful, whatever it is. I cannot see it. But no. I'm just gonna be reacting for the first time to any art piece that I haven't seen before. We'll see. We'll see. You only get to see the winner? No! I want to see all of them! Hi, Ellie. I'm a bit new here. Is there anywhere it's okay to contact you? I have a question about your music. So, if you join my Discord, you can open a ticket with one of my moderators, and then they can escalate it to me and get you the answer. There used to be many more direct ways to contact me, but now there aren't. Orchid8, when will Ellie touch the brick? What does this mean? What do you mean by this? Ramon, thank you! Thank you so much! Bricky? I've met Bricky. Suffering from success? I don't even know if it's that. I've said this before, but I think that there's like a very weird graph of how much people contact you and how often it's okay. Where It's not that I'm too popular. I actually think that I'm getting to be popular enough that things are better again. But there's a weird in between. So when you have like 40 concurrent viewers on average, everyone knows you. You are just like everyone's friend. Your stream is as much about your regulars as it is about you, you know? And then as you get bigger, probably up to the point of like 500 is, I think, the peak of this. Dore! No freaking way! Oh my gosh! Girl, wait, I need to talk to you about it's not even about a commission. I just need to talk to you. I miss you. So this is my model mama. You should follow her if you like the art, the rigging, all of it. She's amazing. She did my whole model start to finish. And I love her. But oh my god, I completely forgot what we were saying. What were we saying? Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So when you get to be around 1,000 concurrent viewers, people stop trying to reach out to you directly. They don't really have the expectation that they can. And when you have like 40 to 50 concurrent viewers, people don't really want to reach out to you directly because there isn't a lot of incentive to be weird and creepy. It still happens. Plenty of people are. When you're like around 10 concurrent viewers, there are multiple waves. This graph is an interesting one. I've been meaning to actually graph this. So when you're around 10 concurrent viewers, people have this sense like, oh, you need me, right? Like, I'm one of your only viewers and you need me. So people will start being weird where they'll be like, if I don't like what you say, maybe I won't come to stream next week, right? Because they have the power to drop your viewership by 10%. That's a lot of power. So there's a way that people get weird and power hungry around there. And then you get to around 40 and people aren't weird and power hungry, but also you're not like famous enough for them. You're at that 10 era and you can agree that this is what happens at that viewer level. Yes. It's super crazy. Then you get to around 40 and people stop doing that because they don't have the power, but you're still like accessible enough that there is simultaneously, they don't have a lot of power over you, and you aren't famous enough that they particularly want a lot of power over you. Churchy is hungry for power. Churchy can write to me directly, and she abuses that power all the time. Churchy sends me the worst messages I have ever seen on a regular basis. My IRL friends can tell when we're on a call and I get a message from Churchy by the face that I make looking at whatever she sent me. It'll just be like a cat gif, and then like, I smell my poopy. So anyway, I love her. She's perfect. You get to around 500 and suddenly you're like big enough that people are like, oh, I could name drop you. I could like brag about this if I can get into your DMs. But also, you are still accessible enough that I have like the reasonable aim that I could get into your DMs, you know? Oh yeah, it gets downright philosophical when there's one viewer and one streamer. That's so true though. You know, my day one, my first viewer ever was Oven Helium. What? That's the things we discussed. My first ever chatter. But yeah, so around 500, I think that's the worst. I think that's the peak of weird stream interactions. Around 500 was my, at least, peak of people feeling like they could just message me and definitely get a response, but also having the weirdest intentions in messaging me. Then you get up around 1,000 and people get more normal again because they don't feel like they should have an audience with you. Sometimes they still do. Like, sometimes people still will expect an audience with you, but it's much rarer. For the most part, at that point, you're free. So like, that's my estimation of this graph. I think there are also like some smaller peaks that I am forgetting. You think 500 is too famous to try and get into someone's DMs? That was my experience, but also I don't know. I think every community differs. I think it varies a lot. But like that was my experience. I think one of the most interesting things to me is that like clout chasing exists at every size. At every size, there is clout chasing. Like, when I was rated and I grew a lot, people started saying, like, oh, be careful, beware of your friends, they'll start clout chasing. And it's like, listen, if you have 40 concurrent viewers, there are people with 3 clout chasing you. There just are. If anything, there are more of them because it's easier to like get in touch with you. If you have 500 concurrent viewers, there are people with 100 concurrent viewers clout chasing you. Whoa! About 5 or 6 weeks ago, you watched a clip of me talking about my plans for the UK and going back to school and stuff, and you came away from it suddenly able to think about your future without getting scared. I don't think it was 100% me. Yeah, good. A lot is happening in your life. But yeah, you feel like I helped you unlock the ability to have ambition just a bit. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Heck yeah. I look forward to whatever you're gonna do. I look forward to whatever you're gonna do. It's less about viewer count and more about how active the chat is. Complicated. I don't know. Plus, the things correlate very strongly. I am honored. I'm so glad. I hope. How do you interact without clout chasing? Just aim for friends in the same bracket or something? I don't know. I don't think it has to be bracketed. I think there's no reason it has to be bracketed, right? Long-time VOD watcher, first-time stream catcher. We're happy to have you, Miriam. Thank you for being here. So, like, I don't know. I have friends of all sizes, right? Sunny is my friend, right? And she's officially up to a year. You should follow her if you haven't, right? We're gonna see her art later. It's beautiful. I cannot wait. But yeah, no, if you go to a non-VTuber stream, chat density goes down by like half. That's crazy. I had no idea. I mostly watch VTubers. I mostly watch VTubers. If only VOD Ellie and Stream Ellie could meet. Oh my god, the collab. Could you imagine? But yeah, I don't think that it is necessarily about only finding people in your bracket. I think it's just about engaging, like, very earnestly and being 100% honest with yourself. Like, am I talking to this person because of them or because of what they can give me, right? Friends of all sizes talking about Minnie? Because she's physically small. That's so cute. Churchy, you're like one of my best friends ever. What's the bug I'm holding? It's a code bug. That's chat right there. They're code bugs. See, I got one on my shoulder too. She's deciding to be sus. Good. But yeah, I think that it's genuinely pretty hard to even know for yourself. But I think it's important to take a step back every once in a while and ask yourself, like, do I mostly raid people bigger or smaller than I am? Why? Do I mostly talk to people bigger or smaller than I am? Why? If this person had this concurrent viewership, would I be as likely to accept a collab with them? Why? And I think you really have to do that kind of interrogation regularly, or it's really easy to be affected by the incentives that exist in the industry. And I think just like getting to know every person as a person, if you're gonna work with them, not that you can't have like purely business relationships in this world, but I think that that's a good way to prevent yourself from getting caught up in the whole clout thing. And I do absolutely try. It helps that I was never very interested in clout. If you only raid or talk to bigger people, it may be kind of parasocial. Not just parasocial, it may be kind of exploitative, I think. Right? Like, if I see someone and they only ever raid or try and talk to bigger streamers, if they only say, so-and-so is my idol, they're so talented, I wish I could talk to them about people who are bigger than they are, you gotta wonder, because there are plenty of amazing artists, truly, like, artists that they should be idolizing and looking up to, who are smaller than they are. So if they're only saying that stuff, like, oh my god, it would be such a dream to meet so-and-so, about people who have a higher concurrent viewership than they do, I'm a little sus of that. Not that I'm sus of them as a person, just I am sus of the motivations behind that statement in particular. And that might even be... It could be intimidating if they said it about people smaller than them, though. How would that be intimidating? What's intimidating about that? There's nothing intimidating about that. I think anyone would be happy to know that someone else liked their art, right? Finishing your PNG soonish! You're gonna remember the whistle? Nice! Nice! And so, like, for you, more than 2 viewers is too big for you to talk to? much, even just in chat? Wow. Okay, I don't know. Everyone has their own preferences. You find you're drawn to slower chat VTubers with medium speed chats. This is actually a really interesting thing. This is a different graph, but there is another graph to be drawn of viewer engagement where when you are small, the people who want to watch you, they don't just like you. They don't just like your personality. They like small VTubers. Now, in some cases, this is bad. Some of these people are like, I don't want to watch a bigger VTuber because then I don't have access to them. That's scary and bad. But for the most part, the people who feel this way because it's like, fast chat is overwhelming, I like a more interactive experience, etc. That's like 99% of it. And like being part of a small, tight-knit community is really fun, right? But there is a thing that happens that's quite sad, where you grow out of your community. And they wanted to be in your community because they wanted a very interactive experience. J-Line, thank you! Thank you so much! Which means that they interacted a lot. You know them. You probably asked them how their day was going most days when they joined your chat, right? And that's kind of sad to lose, right? You're doing well, and you're proud of yourself, and you're happy for you, and they're happy for you, but they don't want to go to your chat anymore. They don't want to watch your streams anymore. And that is sad. And it's not selfish, and it's perfectly fine. Those people have done nothing wrong, but it's a really, really strange and kind of sad thing. To be in a big chat and getting the community experience becomes a slot machine. I don't know. Yeah, I guess the attention economy is pretty weird and alienating for everyone. But yeah, they just don't like the style of content anymore because you got bigger. And it's, imagine seeking out a smaller streamer because you'd get overwhelmed by watching someone big, and then it turned out that small streamer was big. So for those of you who don't know, this comment is by Camo. I've never known whether it's Camo Palamo or Camo Palamo, but either way, Camo Palamo found me when I was doing an experiment where I was being a small streamer. And then, unfortunately, was forced to watch me, a bigger streamer. So, yeah, poor Camo. Amazing artist. I believe also has an entry, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Phipps my beloved. Where did she go? So we support small streamers. But yeah, this happens several times as you grow. I would say that the big thresholds are around 50. At 50, you lose a lot of the people that loved you all the time that you were under 50. And then again at around 100, and then again at around 250, again at around 500, and then again at around 1,000. So people get stuck at these thresholds often, where they start to get over that threshold where they're like, wow, I'm getting to like 60 viewers. But then people stop showing up because they don't like it over 60 viewers. And then you get back under 60 viewers and then they start showing up again. So I've definitely seen people get stuck at those thresholds, but I think it's really interesting. Thank God there's less than 50 people here or I'm leaving. No, I mean, like, people are totally in the right to prefer whatever experience they prefer. With regard to chat size. It's just a very strange experience for the streamer, you know? But yeah, I'm sorry if this is all overwhelming for anyone. I think my chat is fairly chill. I do try and read the messages. There are a lot of them. I was remembering, imagine blame the streamer, please blame me, it's all my fault. The first time I had 20 people in my chat, I remember it being so fast because I still thought I had to read every single message. And this was something really funny, was that when I got raided and I was suddenly bigger, I would raid my old friends and they still had the feeling that they had to read every chat. And so they would be like drowning. They would be like 4 minutes behind on messages. They would be thanking every follow. Stream title idea, stream ends when I get 1 viewer? I mean, sure, but that doesn't seem fair to that viewer. Yeah, chats move from messages to vibes. Exactly! The advice that I was given is that there's only 2 people in chat ever. There is the background chorus and the comment you're currently reading and responding to. So you are doing two things at once. You are reading one specific comment, and you are gathering the vibe of the other visible comments. And that's the only two guys you need to worry about. And then you move on to the next comment that you're gonna read out loud. And you're a part of the chorus? No, you're not. You're the first guy now, Virum. Ha ha ha. I forgot the third viewer, the one guy. That's so true. I do get one guy way too much. But yeah. Poor Alvo, she's at that stage of trying to read everything, even people's replies to one another. It's kind of cute. I kind of love it. I don't know if you guys do. I think it's so cute. You're not background anymore, Sloobert. I found you. I caught you. I need a toggle of me holding a magnifying glass and holding, and then the code bug on my fingers so that I'm like, right? Because I already have the code bug on my finger. Imagine if I had a magnifying glass in my other hand and I could be looking at that code bug. I think that would be good. And then when I read out one of your messages, that would be that. You make fun of her for it? Good. That's how she learns. That's part of the process. Looking at you. Chatting is like a stealth game. You lose. You lose as a fish. You lose. Just not near the sun. Oh, that's fair, actually. Yeah, I don't know about the implications of having a magnifying glass with the bugs. The debugger! Wait, that's so good. That's so good. But yeah, you go through phases of being able to read chat as well, where it gets bigger and bigger. What I would say is that the biggest change in terms of reading chat is when chat is finally big enough that you cannot read all of them. When chat gets to like 30-ish concurrent viewers, that is the biggest change that you have to conquer. Once you conquer that, it's actually not that different from like 3,000 viewers. If you have slow mode on, 30 viewers and 3,000 viewers is not that different in terms of reading and responding to chat. It's different in other ways, and it does make you so freaking nervous. That's if all 30 viewers are actively chatting. Well, no, all 30 viewers are never actively chatting. But at least for a VTuber, this feels like the Discord when you joined, you read everything. That's crazy. I've never heard of someone doing that. I love that for you. Streamers are dono-walling you because they hate you personally? Oh, not because they hate you personally. I was dono-walling you because I hate you personally, Nuclear Saltwater. You know what you did. We have our vendetta. You are my nemesis. I'll fight you outside of an Arby's. Why are you too scared to meet me there? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think you're gonna get all beat up by? I'm gonna win. You think I'm gonna win? Which Arby's? Anyway, whoa! You backread everything too. I'm kind of impressed. Is it the Arby's next to the 7-Eleven? What other Arby's? That Arby's exists in every neighborhood in suburbia. Yeah, also chat is, chat's fun, right? Like, you can talk to other people in chat. So even when the streamer isn't gonna read your messages personally, I feel like there is a way that you still get, like, direct interaction. I don't know. You don't backread, but you try and keep up? I'm very impressed by this. I read only the channels in my Discord that have Ellie in the prefix. Would I ever change my username? Yes, and I should. I have wanted to change my username to just be Ellie forever. I haven't done it because I'm lazy, and the process of changing it on Spotify is kind of an ordeal, and I would have to change it with my music distributor, and I would have to change it on YouTube, and it's like, changing it just on Twitter is like fine, but then you don't have the brand recognition on your other stuff, and all my album covers still say Ellie Minibot on them, so yeah, it's a whole thing, man. I've been thinking about it. You can enjoy the streaming. The streaming without the streamer notice you? Can you? Can you? Don't be like Vettel. I already messed up. I already missed that boat. I could not have chosen a worse name. Ellie Minibot is cool sounding? Thank you. You're cool sounding, awful koala. Thank you. You like me being a Minibot? It makes me the same height as the other balding boys. Churchy isn't even short. Churchy isn't even short. The other two, I won't say a word, but Churchy's not even short. You can cover yourself in cream cheese? God, I love cream cheese. I've been getting into cream cheese lately. I know that this is like not an experience that an adult is supposed to have, but I feel like I was sleeping on cream cheese forever. That's gross. Don't sleep on cream cheese. That sounds sticky. But What do you mean not short for a VTuber? No, she's just not short in general. But yeah, I never got into cream cheese. I always thought cream cheese was kind of gross because I'd only ever had it when like they get bagels at school or like for a breakfast thing or something, and the cream cheese has kind of been sitting out or like it's applied way too thick, right? Is cream cheese wet? Yeah, it's kind of wet. I don't know. So like I thought that I didn't like cream cheese. I recently tried cream cheese, especially like the kind with like chive in it. Holy! I was missing out, man. I didn't know nothing about that. I've been all into cream cheese lately. Did you know you can put it on pasta? You can just put some cream cheese on pasta and it melts down real nice, and then you add your regular tomato sauce, but it becomes like a cream sauce. It's crazy, man. No one taught me this tech. Try it. Try it if you don't believe me. It's gonna change your life. This is actually gonna change your life. Anyway, you can put it on beans. You can though. You put a little cream cheese in beans. Ooh, it makes them so creamy. Anyway, you shouldn't, but you can. Frick you, physics sim. You should and you can. You love mixing boursin. What is boursin? Boursin, garlic, and herb into mashed potatoes. That does sound awesome. That does sound awesome. Maybe Alfredo? Heck yeah. You could just go to the Olive Garden. God, I love the Olive Garden. Those breadsticks, man. Those breadsticks are amazing. Plus, you can hold two of them at the same time and make them do a little dance. Like if you just like kick one out and then the other out, and then you hum the Rockettes song until your dad takes the breadsticks away from you at the Olive Garden at your mom's birthday, because he's like, it's not the time. I love you, but it's not the time. You can do that when you're an adult. Dadbot so me, no! No, justice for Dadbot. He's a good man. He's a good man. It's not his fault. You Charlie Chaplin your breadsticks. Yes! Charlie Chaplin's your breadsticks. Dude. This is like one of my favorite stories. This is a drastic mistelling, but my dad loves to play with silverware. He loves to like put something on the back of a fork and then press the curvy part of a fork so that it launches it like a catapult. Because genetics are real. He loves to do that. And he was doing that because he was bored at my 18th birthday, which was at Olive Garden because I am suburban American trash. And he accidentally flung his knife at my chest and it drew blood. It drew blood. And so I get to say honestly that on my 18th birthday, my father threw a knife at my chest. It didn't draw much blood. It like barely scratched the surface, but it did draw blood. Azoth Evermore, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome raiders and anonymous gifter, whoever you are. Thank you so much for 5 gifted. Thank you, anonymous gifter. Please don't be any of my former bosses or my dad. Anyway, or Baji. I love Olive Garden. Olive Garden is a place where anything can happen, man. Anything can happen at the Olive Garden. I remember being in an Olive Garden bathroom, which is the weirdest place on earth. Olive Garden, when it first opened, was really trying to look like an idyllic Italian villa. And they've mostly given up on that on account of it being expensive and the Olive Garden being cheap and a liminal space. Except in the bathrooms. You're in the rest of the Olive Garden restaurant. It looks like any restaurant. It's kind of dim, you know. They've got still pictures of like a random old lady on the streets of Sicily somewhere. But if you walk into the bathroom, you are transported. The threshold to an Olive Garden bathroom is a cosmic airport that takes you deep into the heart of Italy, right? You are in a different land when you enter the bathroom. And it's not even exactly Italy. It's like an old New Jersey Italian man's understanding of Italy. Like there's like, you respect Nonna. Yeah, you've got like Sinatra blasting somehow louder than anywhere else in the restaurant. The air feels different, you know? And there's like all of these like fake plants, just like tumbling ivy. It's an insane place to be. It's an insane place to be. And once in the Olive Garden bathroom, my sister and I were there. She was fixing her eyeliner and I was standing near her because she was very cool and I wanted her attention very badly. I was a child. And a woman came out of the bathroom in the Olive Garden, proudly waving a freshly peed on pregnancy test and announced to both of us, "I'm pregnant!" Anything can happen at the Olive Garden bathroom. It's just a different world in there. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be happier for her. I could not be happier for her. I love that she came out of the stall in the Olive Garden bathroom and she was like, I have to share my joy with like a 9-year-old and a 17-year-old trying so hard to look like she's not trying to look like Avril Lavigne. Like, putting all of the effort into the world into looking both like Avril Lavigne and like she's not trying to look like Avril Lavigne. Did you clap? I don't think I clapped. I didn't know a lot about pregnancy back then. Well, it wasn't me, it was my sister. My sister was the Avril Lavigne one. I was the child. Valentino Marco, thank you! Strongly typed, thank you! Is the Olive Garden where I ate a bunch of lemons? Yes, I did. I did eat a bunch of lemons at the Olive Garden. My sisters convinced me it was a whole convoluted affair. I think they wanted to get me into the Guinness World Record book. They didn't really understand how that worked. And they were like, Ellie would do this. Ellie would eat a ton of lemons. 9 lemons is not that many lemons. You could definitely eat 9 lemons and get into the Guinness Book of World Records for the most lemons eaten. Now, it turns out that's not really how the Guinness Book of World Records works. And I do think that the waitress, this was partially her fault. She probably should have cut us off. Including peels. But yeah, my sisters were like, can you, how many lemons could you eat? And there was sort of an implication that I would get some kind of power if I ate more lemons. So I ate a lot of whole lemons. And the thing that I'll say about eating a lot of whole lemons is that it starts out and you're like, the fruit is the good part and the rind is the bad part because it is very bitter. But then at a certain point you're like, the rind is the good part and the fruit is the bad part because my mouth is bleeding from the acid.